What is the hero's journey? And what stage of the hero's journey that you are currently on? If you're curious, please stay tuned. Welcome to the day 2 of the 10-day series of how to live your hero's journey. Hi, I'm Paisite, and I've lived through multiple hero's journey from migrating to a country that I've never been before to become a registered pharmacist. And then I started my own foodie social network that connects people through the love of food before without any business or industry experience. I've authored my first philosophical book on 30 of life's biggest questions, and I'm also a coach. To start your hero's journey, you must first know which direction to go. I created a free guide of unique self-discovery process to help you to gain clarity and the confidence of taking the next path. You can download that for free on the website at www.payphe-sze-teh.com, or you can check at the link down below. Okay, let's start. What is the hero's journey? Have you ever watched the movie Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Wizard of the Oz, or The Matrix? If you watch carefully, all of them have a similar pattern in the storyline. I first heard of Joseph Campbell through the book The Hero of Thousand Faces. Joseph Campbell studies the mythology around the world, and he discovered that there is a pattern in all the mythology, and he called them the hero's journey or the monomyth. The hero's journey involves a hero that go on an adventure, being victorious in a crisis and overcoming obstacles, then to return, become a transformed or a changed person. So just imagine a circle and divide them into half. The first half of the circle is called the known world or your ordinary world. And the second half of the circle is the unknown. So there's three main parts of the stages of hero's journey. The first part is called call to adventure. The second one is initiation, and the third one is return. We're going to talk about the three parts in the next second. So what is the call to adventure? In this part of the story, I'm sure most of us can resonate with this. Do you feel that there's something that's missing in your life? Or do you feel comfortable, but there's some sort of yearning that's calling you to the unknown? Imagine yourself having, say, a toothache, for example. It is really annoying, and we wish that it would just go away without we needing to see the dentist. But it's just a nagging pain at the back of our mind. So in this stage, a lot of us might refuse to call to adventure, to go to the unknown, because it is so easy to live a comfortable life, even though you feel miserable, but it's better to feel miserable in a comfortable life than to go to the unknown where there's a lot of risk and you're not sure whether your effort is going to pay off. So most of the time, the call to adventure will first come in whisper, and we tend to neglect that. It's like, I'm okay. I don't want to change anything in my life. I'm too old for that. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. We'll make a lot of excuses at this point of the stage. But as the days go by, you can feel that the pain you're feeling, the pain of stagnation, will get more and more. In my case, my core adventure comes after I managed to fulfill my dream of living overseas. I've migrated here on my own at the age of 25 without even being to the country before. A lot of people thought I was bold, but a lot of people also thought I'm crazy. So that was my first core adventure. But to become a pharmacist in a new country is still a straightforward process, even though it is not an easy process. After I fulfilled my dream as a pharmacist, I was on top of the hill, I was living a comfortable life, but I felt that there's something more to life than the one that I was currently living in. I stood there for a long time, and the pain gets worse and worse. Every day feels like a gramophone, a repeat of the yesterday. As I said, when the toothache the pain gets worse and worse, and you have no choice but to make a change. That's when you finally answer your call to adventure. It might come in different ways for different people. Some might come in a crisis mode, or maybe in a source of inspiration, whatever that may be. So you are taking the courage and the first step to go from the status quo and moving from the ordinary or the known world to the unknown world, which is the scariest part. So now we go to the second part of the journey, which is the initiation part. This is the part about trial and tribulation. Let me ask you a question. Would you watch a story or a movie if the hero did not go through any obstacles? Everything just come easily. I'm sure there's no value, or you wouldn't call yourself a hero if you didn't slay any dragons along the way and bring back the boon. In this stage, you will come face to face with all the obstacles, the roadblocks, and your fear and your false belief. When you live in your comfort zone, you don't expose yourself to this condition. When you are in the unknown, you are deep in the jungle and you have to path your own ways. You're not sure what's ahead of you, or would you ever even get out of the jungle. There are many scary things that's always lurking in the dark. All of us have different kind of fears that we have to face. I remember, so my trial and tribulation comes in many ways and in different experiences in my multiple heroes journey. So when I first came to Australia to become a pharmacist overseas, I remember having to call at least 50 different pharmacies before I finally get a position as a trainee pharmacist to convert my license. There was a lot of rejections, and the money that I saved to come here was dwindling down as the day passed by. And I wondered to myself, why am I doing this to myself when I can live a comfortable life? And again, when I first started my business without any experience or the industry experiences, I faced many rejections along the way. I remember in one instance, I had an event that was picked up by the newspaper and was published. And guess what? The chef who was supposed to be conducting the event pulled out on the last minute. Can you imagine this? You're just starting out and you finally get your first break with a free publication, free advertisement, and the event may not even go forward. I have many different stories along the way that I have to face. But the biggest incident that happened to me was when I was faced with a potential breakout on the way. When you first start a business, you always feel that you are on a treadmill. You just can't stop. I was on the verge of a burnout, so I decided to leave, to take some time, take a pause in the city of Manhattan and visit my best friend who's living there. Just as fate has it, just 48 hours before my departure to New York City, I was met with an accident. I torn my ankle ligament, and instead of finding the answers within the busy streets of Manhattan, I found my answers within the four walls of my own bedroom. I have to come face to face with all my fears. And that's when I finally pick up the courage to write my first book on philosophy. And in the process of writing the book, as the publishing date comes nearer, I found that all the monsters or demons that's lying in the dark began to surface for me. So they come in the form of perfectionism and procrastination, which I'm sure most of you will be familiar with as well. I felt that I'm going to get a writer's block. There's so many things that you have to overcome. And most of the time, yes, you may get some pushback from the external world. For example, like cancellation of last minute, or you don't have the support from your family or friends, or you may have some judgment or critics from the external world who doesn't appreciate whatever you're contributing or trying to do. But most of the time, the monster that's lurking in the dark is actually yourself. That's when you have to integrate what I call, or is known as your shadow self. You have to come terms with your weakness as well and all your false belief about yourself, and find the consistency and the commitment to the process to go through. And when you manage to slay the dragons, that's when you will go from the second stage to the third stage, which is called the return. At this stage, the hero will then go from the unknown world with a lesson learned and back to the reality from where he or she first started. And you became a different person at that stage. So, this is a stage where you have to come face to face with reality and put all the lessons that you've learned into practice. It could be at this stage how to turn your passion into income. You still need to feed yourself. Or at this stage, you may choose to continue to do whatever you're doing, but you come back with a different perspective and you do things a bit differently this time round and share the wisdom with the world. So, in my case, in my hero's journey of becoming a coach, because of my first experience of creating my own startup, I've gone through so many experiences that I would not learn any other way. I would do or conduct my business a bit differently the second time round, having learned what to do to avoid burnout and to put priority about my well-being being the first thing, and to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, which part of the hero's journey are you currently on? There's a lot of times I always thought to myself, do I need to go through all this process to discover something about me that is already within me? So a good example is Dorothy in Wizard of the Oz. All she needs to do to go back to Kansas is to tap her shoes. She could have done that anytime during her journey, but she would not know that that's the thing to do until the end of the journey. So that is the paradox. You have to go through one full circle to discover what you are that's already within you. It is a chance for you to bring forward to be who you really are and to embrace all of you. Which of the stages are you currently on, and what challenges do you face in each of the journey? Please leave a comment down, and I'd like to hear, what journey you're currently on, and how I could help you along the journey based on all the experiences that I've gone through. I'm here for the next few minutes if you have any questions to ask me regarding the topic today. If you watch this on a replay, you can always put your comment down below as well, and I'll answer your question as soon as possible. Just as a reminder, before you can start your hero's journey, you must have some sort of clarity on where you're heading next. So make sure you download your free guide on unique self-discovery process. I put the link at the comment below, and you can download that for free, or you can simply just go to my website. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about the lessons that I've learned from my hero's journey. If there's no more questions for today, I hope that you learned something about the hero's journey and discover where you are at the stage of your hero's journey. And I'm excited to see you tomorrow once again at 12 p.m. talking about the lessons learned from my hero's journey. I will see you then. Bye.